Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing absolutely amazing. Okay, so today we have a very important topic because it is the day before Thanksgiving and we have a lot to talk about. So we're gonna really talk about fibroids, heavy bleeding, Thanksgiving, how to navigate Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be giving you guys tips about how to navigate Thanksgiving because a lot of women are kind of nervous about the holiday season in general. A lot of women that have fibroids, that have reproductive health issues, and they're on a holistic healing journey. But especially Thanksgiving, because this is a holiday that's centered around food, literally, and unhealthy food. So we're gonna talk about it today. I'm gonna give you guys tips on how to navigate Thanksgiving towards the end, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned, okay? How do we navigate Thanksgiving with fibroids, with, all of these other reproductive health issues, with heavy bleeding, and all those things that we hate, okay? So let's talk about it, all right? If you are not currently a subscriber, make sure you're subscribed, especially if you enjoy topics about holistic womb healing and reproductive health issues such as fibroids, heavy bleeding, and hormonal health, okay? So make sure that you're a subscriber. Now, I wanna say this for anybody that's watching me for the first time. Hi and welcome, my name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist, and what I do is I help women who have fibroids and other reproductive health issues. I help them get to the physical and emotional root causes of these issues in order to fully heal, in order to fully restore their hormonal balance, get their systems aligned, get their body in alignment, and fully heal, dissolve fibroids, dissolve cysts, dissolve any type of polyps, uterine growth that's not supposed to be there. And again, feel more in alignment with who they are, feel more in alignment with self, okay? So I love what I do. And we've been able to help, at this point, hundreds of women get rid of fibroids, get rid of heavy bleeding, restore their hormonal balance, reverse PCOS, reverse endometriosis, adenomyosis, and so much more. Love what I do through my courses, through my programs, and through my workshops, masterclasses, all that great stuff over the years, okay? Love what I do, and I love putting the power back into women's hands, okay? And I know that during Thanksgiving, we can feel quite powerless, right? And we're gonna get into that. Shameless plug real quick before we get into the topic. We do have an amazing 3-day live course coming up, okay? Coming up next week from December 4th through December 6th, called Healed Woman, okay? So if you have not registered for that course, you're gonna wanna register because y'all, the price is going up very soon. It's only $44 right now, but it is a 3-day live course. It's gonna be on Zoom from December 4th through December 6th, which is Wednesday through Friday next week. So the Healed Woman 3-day live course is teaching women how to cultivate and how to be their own inner self healer, okay? So women that have reproductive health issues, fibroids, heavy bleeding, hormonal issues, right? That this indicates that there's a deep disconnection from self, okay? This indicates misalignment in the body, and we're gonna get to the bottom of that, okay? We're gonna get to the bottom of that. This is about, being in your natural feminine essence and activating that part of you, right? That we've lost in this overwhelm of life, right? And also being more so in the flow state. I'm gonna teach you how to do that, how to navigate really deepening the connection to yourself, to your body's natural cycle, and so on and so forth. It's gonna be absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited about it, okay? It's going to be all things like, the feminine woman healer. And a lot of women need to connect back to that, right? We've lost that in this everyday shuffle of life and, running to doctors all the time for testing. Listen, so important as a woman to be deeply connected to your body, to your being, to your essence, okay? So this is going to be an amazing 3-day workshop. It's going to be, again, next week. You guys, if you want to find out more information about it, go to the link in the description box, register. It's only $44 right now, okay? It's gonna go up very soon, okay? Now, let's get into the topic, okay? So Thanksgiving, guys know it's supposed to be a time of, even though how the holiday came about, we know the story with that, the real story, right? But we've kind of turned it around as to be, something more centered around family, loved ones, gratitude, joy, right? That's what the holiday is supposed to be about, right? But when you're struggling with fibroids, when you're struggling with heavy bleeding, when you're struggling with reproductive health issues, there's another layer to that. It's an extra layer to that a lot of people don't talk about. And as somebody that struggled with fibroids herself for many years, and heavy bleeding and all the horrible symptoms, because as you guys know, if you watch my video on my fibroid story, then you know that I had fibroids not once but twice, right? This was over a decade ago, by the way. So when it comes to that, right, when it comes to women that have fibroids, it could be a time of discomfort, added stress, right? It could be a time of, which, also worsens your symptoms, right? It could be a time of you're nervous about being around certain type of foods that were temptations, especially if you're on a journey, on a self-healing journey. If you're on this journey alone, navigating healing, trying to heal your womb, healing fibroids, a natural healing journey, like being around these triggers can be, it could be emotionally stressful. It could be very stressful, right? The healthy foods, the family stress, the emotional stress, you having to be asked questions by certain family members about maybe you're struggling with fertility, you're having to be asked, when are you gonna have a baby? And they don't personally know that you're dealing with fibroids, right? By aunts, uncles, or you're having to be asked things like, like, are you pregnant due to the bloating? That's happened. Things like that have happened to me before. So it's almost like you feel like, nervous, and the holidays are stressful for anybody, but when women have fibroids, are navigating the symptoms of fibroids, heavy bleeding, and endometriosis, it could be even 10 times worse, okay? I know because I've been there, all right? And it could be even harder to navigate the holiday season alone, right? In case you guys don't know, fibroid hospitalizations go up 47% during the fall and winter seasons, which are, the holiday seasons, right? They go up significantly, right? It tends to be a lot of women during this time too, because of everything that's going on with the holidays and the Friendsgivings and the events, and we tend to not really take much time to look inward. And then you have Thanksgiving, where whether you're traveling, right, to see family, or whether you are hosting Thanksgiving dinner, let me just say this: if you're hosting Thanksgiving dinner, my heart goes out to you. So I could never, but if you're hosting Thanksgiving dinner, right, this is stressful, right? Just like the food and this and that, and having to accommodate other family members, and it can be a lot, right? So I want you guys to be prepared for that. You probably, maybe some of you guys have already traveled, but just be prepared on how to navigate Thanksgiving with fibroids, so that we're not dealing with a situation where we're worsening our symptoms. We're causing more fibroid growth, right? Because that's the last thing that we want during the holidays. That's the last thing that we want, period. But definitely, if you're on your journey to heal fibroids, that can really set you back. The holidays, in particular, Thanksgiving can really set you back, and you don't want to allow that to happen. And some people just think about it as, it's just one day. No. When it comes to Thanksgiving, it can last like the whole entire weekend, right? Because we're gonna talk about the leftovers, the people like the Thanksgiving leftovers. Like, if you're traveling to see family, more than likely you're not just gonna stay for one day, right? It's gonna be, you're gonna stay for maybe the entire Thanksgiving weekend, right? So you're thrown out of your element for a bit, right? For most people when it comes to Thanksgiving. So there's less time for self-care. And then you have to think about it, a lot of you guys may be on your periods, right? Or you may be, when we have fibroids, the periods tend to be a little bit, depending on person, depending on the severity of the fibroids, right? Because some people, they bleed for a long period of time, for 2 weeks, right? Much longer than the 3 to 4 days, right? And you may be encountering a period where you're having to navigate Thanksgiving on your period. So now you're thinking about heavy bleeding. Now you're thinking about, traveling, having a fear of having, menstrual accidents, right? Bleeding accidents, right? So now you're thinking about how to navigate that. You're thinking about, how do I navigate the pain, the severe cramping, right? Without, everybody being in your business, or you don't want everybody in your uterus, right? So, and I totally understand that. How do I navigate the frequent urination if I'm not in my element, if I'm not in my regular element? How do I, navigate this? Am I going to be able to, get to the bathroom in time? Am I going to be able to get to the bathroom to change my, pad or tampon in time? Like, these are things we think about when we have fibroids that nobody really talks about, okay? And because I went through it myself, I can definitely, I remember going through holidays with fibroids, and it was hell. It really does take away from the experience, right? When you are heavily bleeding, you're not in a moment, really, like when you're dealing with, heavy cramps, it's hard to be in a moment and enjoy family, as much as you want to, right? You kind of, in the back of your mind, the fibroids are there and they're taking up space. Also, not just in physical space, but also emotional space, mental space as well. So these are things that you want to also think about and prepare for. Also, too, when you have the dreaded fibroid belly, whether it's, you deal with extreme bloating due to fibroids, or you have the stomach protrusion due to fibroids, right? A lot of women that follow me have that. So there's that as well. So then we have family members maybe asking us again certain questions. Then you want to, try to find outfits to try to hide that, especially if you're going to see like extended family members who may not know that you're dealing with fibroids, right? So it could be a lot. And then you have the family members that are who may know, and they're pressuring you to do surgery because they think that that's the only. I've had a lot of people tell me that their family members pressure them into surgery, pressure them into hysterectomies because they feel like those family members don't know any better, and they don't understand and know that there's natural ways to get rid of fibroids, but there's a natural method to get rid of fibroids, right? They don't believe in holistic healing. I had somebody else say that her family members thought that it was against, Christianity to naturally heal yourself, which is the craziest thing, but we're gonna move on from that, okay? So it could be a lot. It could be a lot. It could be a lot on navigating Thanksgiving and the holidays in particularly, right? And just in general. But understand that Thanksgiving, even though it seems like it's just one day, it can really create the perfect storm to worsen your symptoms or to grow your fibroids even more. I want to be honest with you and tell you this, right? And I didn't even talk about how Thanksgiving too, having to do all of this and prepare for dinner and do this, and it could be a lot on a woman that has anemia, because most women that have fibroids are also anemic as well. So the low energy and the exhaustion also as well can really get to you. Okay, so it could really navigating Thanksgiving. I want you guys to show yourself some compassion, right? If you're not able to, let's say, cook all the meals and do all the things that you've probably done in the past, right? You don't have the energy for it. You don't have the space for it, the emotional capacity for it. Like, you want to also learn how to put up boundaries, right? If there are things that you can't do, be vocal about it. You don't have to say why, but be vocal about it without feeling bad about it. And don't try not to overextend yourself, because as women, we try to do that. We really do that during holidays. We overextend. And we think that, okay, because women typically are responsible for the food and the dishes, right? So whether you're hosting or you're going over a family member's or friend's, place, tends to, there's the stress of bringing the dishes and all these things, right? So it could be a lot. It could be a lot. So show yourself some self-compassion, and don't allow this holiday to stress you out too much. Please, right? Because stress and fibroids, they do not mix. Stress doesn't mix with anything, but definitely not fibroids. This is what, again, ignites fibroids, right? Stress. So just really, take some moments for yourself to kind of pull back a bit, to check in with yourself, okay, during this season. All right. So the truth is as well, even though I'm going to share with you guys some tips on what to do, how to navigate Thanksgiving when you have fibroids and other reproductive health issues, I also want you to understand and know that when it comes to fibroids, when it comes to endometriosis, heavy bleeding, right? These are things that we really have to get to the root cause of. We have to address the root cause. Yes, there are temporary things you can do to feel better in the moment, right? Or for a couple of days, absolutely. But you want to also, and more importantly, think long-term when it comes to fibroids, right? So and I keep saying this, but we're almost in 2025. We're like 5.5 weeks away from 2025. What is your 2025 going to look like with these fibroids, right? What is your 2026 going to look like, right? So thinking in the future as well. That means that if we really are serious about getting rid of these fibroids, these shrinking and dissolving them, then we have to have a plan, and we have to address the root cause of them, right? We have to address the root cause. We can't, and I know that Thanksgiving is tomorrow, right? So we can't heal fibroids by tomorrow. I know a lot of you guys wish that, but unfortunately that's not how it works. So as we think about what are some things we can do to navigate, the Thanksgiving weekend, we also have to think more importantly about, okay, I don't want to have to go into another Thanksgiving with fibroids. I don't want to have to go into another holiday season with fibroids, right? I don't even want to go into next summer with fibroids. We have to start thinking about that, right? We have to start, we can't start. A lot of people think very temporarily when it comes to their health, very temporarily, and this shows. It shows. So don't just think about feeling better at this moment. Think about what your next summer's gonna look like, what your, next year's Thanksgiving is gonna look like, right? Very important. That means that if we want to walk into, like, for example, 2025 without fibroids, what are we doing now? What are we doing now, right? We have to take powerful action right now. And disclaimer, that's what, shameless plug, that's why I have my 6-week womb healing experience. That's actually, we're taking clients now. Okay, we had a client sign up a couple days before Thanksgiving. And what does that tell you? What does that tell you? That person is serious about her healing, and she's not, and she has support during this time, during these holiday seasons, right? She's in a fully supported container with other women too, who are also in the container, not worried about Thanksgiving, because they have the tools to navigate this holiday. They have the content and they have a plan, right? So when you're in a group of women that's doing the same things, you don't feel like you're so alone. You feel like, wait a minute, I could do this too, right? I could do this too, right? And when you have support, when you have a specialist that's there and helping you through the process, it's also a lot easier to navigate. So I just want to put that out there. So we're taking clients in the 6-week womb healing experience all the way up until we're taking clients. The last day that we're closing up enrollment is Saturday, the 30th, November 30th, okay? So if you're interested in transforming the health of your womb, transforming the health of your reproductive system, shrinking your larger fibroids in 6 weeks, and dissolving the smaller fibroids in 6 weeks, getting rid of all your fibroid symptoms, restoring your hormonal health, okay, and feeling more in alignment with self, then go ahead and click, there's a link in my description box, the 6-week womb healing experience womb healing on another level, okay? Go ahead and check it out and see if it's for you, and register, okay? Register. It's absolutely amazing. We have a client who literally just joined, and she's already talking about how amazing and how like the Zoom call, we had a group Zoom call last night, how amazing the Zoom call was, and the content, because it's content you're not gonna see on my channel, you're not gonna see it on any of my social media. It's exclusive content that gets you, again, to the point of healing, okay? So, you're gonna wanna definitely check it out. Check out the 6-week womb healing experience for sure, okay? So do not think that, that these issues are just gonna go away overnight or could just go away after Thanksgiving. You have to address them. You have to address them, right? The fibroid is still there. It doesn't take a break during holiday season. Unfortunately, it's not taking a break during Christmas, New Year's, Christmas Eve. It's there, okay? And it's waiting on you to do something about it. It's waiting on you to do something about it. And when I say do something about it, I mean to actually get your entire body healthy. Because if we have fibroids, that's a full body issue. You guys know I say this in almost every video if you've been following me. If we have fibroids, that's a full body issue. So the fibroid is literally, there to almost, protect the waste from spreading around the whole body, right? So it's important to address this. It's important to tackle this strategically, not just with random remedies here and there, strategically, right? So that you're getting the systems in your body healthy. If you're restoring your balance back into your body. Okay, so I want you guys to real quick just imagine and envision just a blissful holidays, blissful Thanksgiving, right? Where without fibroids, with your family, right? Where you're not worried about heavily bleeding, you're not worried about your stomach is flat, you're wearing the outfit that you actually want to wear, not the outfit that you have to wear to hide your stomach and bloating. No bloating, right? Just again, your digestive system working properly, okay? Having an abundance of energy, right? For family, for friends, and just feeling loving, all this loving energy inside. Be able to be fully present with loved ones, because when we have fibroids, we're not really present. Because how? When you're dealing with all of these symptoms, right? Being fully present in there with loved ones, right? And feeling just in control of your body, feeling in control of your life, because if we don't feel in control of our bodies, we don't feel in control of our lives. Listen, none of this stuff is separate. It all goes hand in hand, okay? Having your hormones be in balance, that's really important, because when the hormones are not in balance, we're not in balance, right? And just feeling just living in a flow state, right? Just being excited for the holidays. You're excited, whether you're cooking, whether you're hosting, whether you're going to somebody's house, whether you're traveling, just enjoying yourself with your loved ones. Imagine that being your Thanksgiving, right? And I want to say this to you. Some of you guys can't even imagine where there were times that you felt that. Maybe years ago, maybe some people even last year, right? That you felt that, right? So I want you guys to experience that. I want you guys, if you have never experienced that, to experience that and how beautiful it is to heal. To be a healed woman, okay? To be in balance, like have even like your thoughts to be in balance, right? And to feel more connected to your essence and you as a woman, and not feel, all scattered and out of control and, overwhelmed, and, to not feel all over the place, right? That's typically how we feel when we have fibroids. To feel, again, more in alignment and just confident about the future, and to, again, be present instead of always having anxiety, all right? So how do we navigate this Thanksgiving with fibroids? What can we do, okay, to avoid worsening the symptoms, okay, growing the fibroid, and also just feeling worse, during the holiday season, during Thanksgiving? You guys are gonna hate that I'm saying this, but I'm gonna say it. You want to be selective of what's on your plate. I know. You're probably going to click off. You're mad. I know. Be selective on what you have on your plate. Let me just say this. I'm a big proponent of fasting, number one. But avoid fasting on Thanksgiving. And the reason why I say that, because people usually do. They don't fast any other time. But Thanksgiving is when everybody wants to fast, right? You wait all day, and then you have that big dinner, or whatever, big dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, with 2 or 3 plates and dessert, right? You have this huge, so you're hungry after fasting the whole day. And that's typically what people do, because they're like, I'm making room for, and they just eat tons of fattening, horrible foods that literally, don't get me started. Because the type of Thanksgiving foods that I see, I scream inside. Like, oh my God, this is a heart attack on the plate. It's ridiculous. And people that actually are eating this look like they're about to have a heart attack. But that's a whole other conversation, okay? So avoid fasting that day. What you want to do that day is you want to make sure that you're eating tons of fruit before the dinner. Tons of fruit, salads, things like that. Eat through the day so you're not so hungry during dinner, right? You don't have to have like extras, it's multiple plates. You're not extremely hungry. You just have your plate and that's it. And be mindful of what you're putting on that plate, right? Don't just put on a bunch of starches and a whole bunch of meat. Put some vegetables on that plate as well, right? Put some healthy foods on that plate as well. And I don't know whether it's you cooking or somebody else cooking. If you know that you're going to grandma's house and everybody is the mac and cheese, the stuffing, all this crap, right? All this crappy food, the turkey legs. If you know that that's the case, then okay, maybe make a salad or veggie stir fry, a dish that you can also bring there as well. If you know that nobody's really gonna, or if they do have the greens, it's gonna be like, with bacon bits in it or turkey legs. I don't know what you guys be eating, but it's greens with all this crap in it, right? You guys ruin greens, but that's a whole other conversation. So if if you know that your family's like that, then we're like, okay. First of all, let me bring a couple of healthy dishes, some vegetables, put them together, making salads maybe, and so that at least people can have options, and you can also have options as well, and fill your place up with veggies as well. So you're not eating a whole bunch of the other stuff, right? Too much of the other stuff. So be mindful, okay? And don't say, oh, it's just one day. People say that all the time in this country, because we're the only ones that celebrate this crazy holiday. I don't have an issue with the holiday. I have an issue with the fact that it's centered around food. But that's a whole other conversation, right? We're the only ones that have this holiday centered around food, and yet we're the fattest people in the world. Like, it doesn't make any sense. We're the sickest people in the world. It doesn't make any sense. It's not adding up, okay? So it's not just one day. This is how us as a society live our lives. And it's not just one day, right? This shows how we as a society live our lives. It ain't just one day, but I digress. Prioritize some rest. So whether you are going to be with family, you're traveling, or whether you are you're the one cooking, right? Prioritize rest. Yes, maybe on the actual Thanksgiving day, you're not able to get much rest, but again, people typically stretch it out for the whole weekend, right? So get some rest in there, sleep good, have people help you. Don't be the only one out there cooking. I don't know. Sometimes some people make one person like in charge of the whole dinner, which is diabolical. But don't be the only one out there cooking, right? Have somebody help you, and take some breaks, take some rest, okay? Do not overexert or stress yourself out. Remember that stress again causes cortisol levels to go up, and when we spike those cortisol levels, the progesterone goes down, and that creates this estrogen imbalance in the body, and worsening fibroids and worsening the symptoms and causing them to grow and triggering the fibroid. We don't want that. So take some time to rest, okay? And get some good sleep during this holiday season, okay? Even if you're not gonna be home, prioritize that. Hydrate. I can't say that enough. Hydrate. You guys are not drinking water like that. Most of you are not drinking water like that. You're gonna eat all that crap and then not drink water. Hydrate, please, okay? As a matter of fact, and make it a point too that before dinner, you're drinking a lot. So again, you're not super hungry during the Thanksgiving dinner. Hydrate, okay? Thanksgiving is one day. It would not kill you if you don't have all of the crap that they have on the table. If you don't taste everybody's pies and stuffing and turkey legs, and it will not kill you, right? Don't try to eat everything. Oh, I'm gonna just have a little bit of, no. It's just food. I want you to say this to yourself. It's just food. Food does not rule me. It's just food. Like how we act as a society about food is scary. It's scary. It's just food. It's just food. You'll be okay if you don't have it. If you don't taste everybody's, whatever they bring in. Okay? This one is a huge one. Let go of the leftovers. Let go of the leftovers. What do you see? This is why I say Thanksgiving is not just one day, right? Because you guys will have the Thanksgiving dinner, and of course, all the extra plates, second plate, third plate, dessert, all that stuff. And then you'll you wake up Friday and then have another plate. And then you'll, have another plate Friday evening, and then Saturday, and then Sunday. I'm like, what's going on? So you stretch out like this unhealthy, toxic food to like multiple days. Let go of leftovers. Unless they're the healthy choices, let go. Let go. And I don't want to hear, I don't want to waste food. Because you guys, give it to the homeless. Give it to the homeless. They're going to be very hungry during Thanksgiving. Give it to the homeless. If you feel like I don't want to waste food, give it to the homeless. You don't need it. I'm telling you this right now. You don't need this unhealthy food. You don't need it. Give it to the homeless. Okay? Avoid leftovers unless it's healthy, your healthy dishes. Avoid leftovers. And that's included turkey too. Now, and if you deal with bloating, if you deal with and let me say this too, for ladies that deal with bloating, you want to get in more fiber. So you actually having more fruits and veggies before the actual dinner, that's going to help with the bloat as well. Okay, that's a tip. And also hydrating, that's going to help with the bloat as well. Okay, that's a tip. Okay, now as far as if you're dealing with the stomach protrusion, the fibroid belly, right? And you're going over to see family, or you're having family come to you, I'm going to say this, I only say this for Thanksgiving, wear looser clothing. Because we know that if somebody asks us, are you pregnant, and we're not pregnant, those are fighting words, first of all. Those are fighting words, first of all, but it can really do a number to your self-esteem. It can ruin your whole night. And I know, because I've had that happen to me in the past when I was dealing with fibroids, so I get it. Like those literally, it can like just ruin your whole day when somebody does that, right? Especially if you are dealing with infertility, that makes it 10 times worse. So to avoid that, and I would say usually to throw away your clothes that make you, that you're hiding in, but for this one day only, if you're gonna be around family and friends, wear something a little looser if you have this stomach protrusion due to fibroids. It's a little bit looser, okay? So that we don't get those questions. Okay, because I don't want you guys to feel bad. I don't want y'all to feel bad. I don't want you guys to fight anybody, right? During Thanksgiving. But I totally understand that question is highly inappropriate, but people still are going to ask. I don't know. I don't understand why, but, you know, family members too feel like they can. That's a whole other conversation. Especially if you have a black family, they don't care like about offending you. They don't ask. Okay? So the last tip is I want you to cultivate a plan to really tackle these fibroids. I don't want you just to think about, okay, how do I get through today? How do I get through the weekend? I want you to cultivate a plan, a lasting plan to shrink and dissolve these fibroids. And if, again, it is not random remedies. It is not just, one thing. It's a plan. It's changing a whole lifestyle shift, right? It's an embodiment. And this is, again, what we're talking about in the 6-week womb healing experience. This is what we're going to harp on. So it's so important to have guidance. And I always say this, even if you don't use me, get under somebody that can help you during these times, that can help you really with an action plan on how to get rid of these fibroids, especially if you are dealing with these symptoms. And it doesn't matter whether your fibroids are small or large, because guess what? Fibroids can grow like this. But at the same time, if you are dealing with fibroids that are over 5 centimeters or multiple fibroids, then you want to get on it. You want to get on it because, again, the holiday season can be, again, a trigger for fibroids to grow even bigger. They typically grow bigger around this time, okay? So these tips are great for tomorrow. They're great for the weekend, but you have to tackle this ongoing problem. You have to have an action plan. Or, again, if you don't have the correct one, if you've been trying to tackle fibroids for months, years, it's not working, you need to get under somebody that can help you, okay? And if you're interested in that, check out our 6-week womb healing experience. You need to get in so that you can be fully supported during this season. You can have an action plan to get rid of your fibroids. And so you can shrink your large fibroids before, again, 2025, and dissolve the smaller ones before 2025, okay? So we can go into 25. We can know that by next summer, next Thanksgiving, that this is not going to be an issue. You're going to be fully present and feeling absolutely amazing. Hormones balanced, right? Digestive system is amazing. So you deserve that. You need a comprehensive protocol on shrinking and dissolving fibroids, okay? So hopefully these tips are helpful. Again, if you have any questions about our 6-week womb healing experience, you can ask in the comment section, or you can send me an email. My email also too is in the description box. Everything that we offer is in the description box, as well as my email and the site as well. So again, if you're interested in the Healed Woman 3-day live course, if you're not ready for the 6-week womb healing experience, get in the live course. That's only $44 right now. Okay, but don't just do nothing. Don't just do nothing, right? Don't just suffer through and just keep suffering and just don't do anything. Don't give up on yourself, okay? Don't give up on yourself like that. Do something. Do something and to move the needle and to get rid of these damn fibroids, all right? So I love you guys. I want to say that I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and hopefully these tips helped. Let me know in the comment section, are these tips helpful to navigate Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend? And also to let me know how your Thanksgiving went. I would love to know. All right. Bye, ladies.